Everybody, thanks for clicking on Storm Talk. This is Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good. Here's an update on how things are looking as we enter this new week ahead, and another update to how Derby Day is looking on today's model runs. As always the case, we start off with a severe weather risk. Today, it's the East Coast. It was active to our south yesterday. Today, it's the Mid-Atlantic, D.C., Baltimore, all the way down into the Carolinas. We'll feel the impact of some damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes later on for this afternoon with an enhanced area of severe weather located in the Mid-Atlantic. Tomorrow, another system means another risk to the west. This time, the same spot as about last time I talked to you guys in the panhandles here near Oklahoma and Texas. And then as we head into the time from here Wednesday, most activity is staying mainly along and south of I-40 as we enter the middle portion of the week. The reason why it's not really heading east-northeast is that the flow this week is coming from the north, not from the southwest. So the severe risk later this week is going to get suppressed even more to the I-10 corridor, if not I-20, which is very far to the south of us. So severe weather this week, not in the cards. That's good. The bad is the chilly air that we have to deal with. Today, it's not exactly peachy outside. We've had a few spotty showers. We're seeing hints of sunshine, but the hint of sun is not a good thing because it's just adding to the instability to get another shower then pops up right over you. So you see it's very spotty in nature. Breezy at times as well, those west winds, as the gradients really starting to tighten up over the area. And when we get those little sun breaks, that creates what we call more mixing in the atmosphere. You get a partly to mostly cloudy sky. That back and forth, the heating and cooling of the air causes the air to rush around, and that's what the winds have been picking up at times. Futurecast for tonight shows how we'll see the cloud cover try to break up enough. And here's the big question. How much is going to break up determines how much cooling we get tonight. Yes, some spots could see some upper 30s, not ruling out. At this point, winds look to be over 8 miles per hour, which is not exactly prime for frost potential. Some areas could be sheltered from the wind, so we'll have to watch for that isolated chance here for some patchy frost. I don't think it's going to be a big deal tonight, though. It's going to be a cool night. Don't get me wrong. 40s, very likely. But any areas that see 30s and frost will be very, very isolated, so I don't expect any advisors to be issued with this type of a cool air mass tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to warm up fast tomorrow with some sunshine. But just like today, you don't have to wait long for the clouds, the cumulus, to bubble up, and then you're going to get a band of showers and even some lightning strikes. Again, not severe weather. Although I wouldn't rule out some of these heavier downpours that can really get going later on tomorrow afternoon. Some very small pieces of hail or Gruppel could actually fall because it is so cold off. It's not going to be at severe size, but don't be surprised if you hear a few pieces of ice hitting the windshield tomorrow evening. Again, nothing to be alarmed about. It's not sleet, by the way. It's just how cold it is above us at the moment. And then as we didn't do Wednesday, we're going to see another chance for maybe a shower later in the day. But here's the issue we're having with the indices down the road. We are seeing some improvements here. The AO, this is the European, by the way. No, let me change my wand. Sorry. I know you guys can't see that very well. Let me put on it a yellow here for you guys. Okay, let me try this again. Here is the GFS, or Euro, and here is the GFS. And what we're looking at here is for anything to go above the black solid line here, all right? So it's trying to trend positive by Derby Day. GFS, a little flat. Euro on the NAO, we want that to go positive. It's trending that way. GFS, not really sure what it wants to do. PNA, we want this to go into negative land, and it's holding steady on the Euro and almost heads that way as you in the GFS. The EPO is the big one here. We want that to be positive, and it is heading that way. But look how the models have been struggling here with the model runs. I mean, there's so many variables on the EPL. It's really struggling with this cool air that's moving in and how quickly it can get out of the way by Derby Day. So overall, we do see a trend that supports that we have some cool air to deal with between now and Derby. The issue is how quickly do we get back into a warmer pattern by Derby weekend, and that is just not clear just yet. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the cool air masses this week. You see how the cool air, very much like the winter time, it was locked in over the northeast and the eastern part of the country, warm to the west of us. And as we went to Derby week, we start to see that cool air start with us on Monday and even all the way through Parade Day. It's trying to relax somewhat, and I do think we may see some signs of that just in time for Derby, but it's going to be a race of the clock the way it's looking. All right, two chances I see for potentially for frost. That would be the combination of a clear sky, combination of light winds, and to be in the perfect center here of the high pressure. And it looks like as we end to Thursday morning, I could see some patchy areas of frost, mainly South Indiana and the sheltered areas east of 65, most at risk for some patchy frost. This could be enough for an advisory, though, so we'll have to watch that for, again, Thursday morning. The second round, the area of high pressure is actually right on top of us early, as we get into Friday. And we'll have to watch that because the winds will really be light, and we really could see values a little colder than this. Again, mainly limited to the bluegrass area of Kentucky, but that appears to be a cold morning as well with some areas of frost possible. Some models are a lot colder than what this is showing, but I do think this is a good balance here. This is the Canadian showing upper 30s, a few mid 30s. Not out of the question. So again, 2 areas we're watching here for frost potential, or 2 time periods, Thursday and Friday mornings. We'll watch it carefully for you guys, and you get your gardens out, although you shouldn't plant until after Derby Day, as we always say. But if you have already, we're watching it, and we'll try to give you as much of a heads up as we can. Now, it gets a little more interesting for Saturday. This is opening day for understand Kentucky Kingdom, I believe, is about to open up for their rides here, and also we've got the opening night at Churchill Downs for racing Saturday night. Not great timing here because the system it's been showing up for about a week now, a wave moving through as we get into Saturday, and it's holding true to its course of timing here for Friday night into Saturday night, a wave of rainfall. The models are just kind of varying a little bit on where the heaviest would fall. So a lot of them are really homing on the idea it's going to be southern Kentucky and Tennessee where the heaviest rain will likely fall out of this wave for Saturday. The important thing about this wave, though, because of its timing and that cool air mass that we're coming out of Thursday and Friday, is that high temperatures on Saturday really could be a struggle. We could see a really tight gradient with 40s for highs over much of our area, and then you got 70s and 80s just to our south across Tennessee. In fact, it could even hit 70 degrees near Bowling Green, while maybe 42, 43 for high in our northern counties on Saturday. What a gradient that would be. That would really enhance the rainfall potential, because when you get a tight gradient like that, a tight temperature gradient, you can get some really good convergence going on, and there could be some really decent heavy rain bands that form right where this gradient is, and that's why I think it's going to be southern Kentucky and Tennessee. It probably has a better chance to see that heaviest rain take place. But the point in all this is it could be really chilly on Saturday the way it is beginning to look. But I'm going to end on a good note. Here's the latest data from the GFS for Derby Day, and right now it's saying dry, sunny, and temperatures in the 80s. Keep in mind, when I last talked to you guys Friday, it was saying sleet for Derby Day. So, still early. Things can still change. And as I stress, it's all about how quickly we break out of that cool pattern and get into a pattern like this. And it'll happen either right at Derby weekend or it will be delayed. And usually these kind of situations, I would lean a little more toward the delayed idea, because usually colder air is difficult to get out of the area. So we'll watch it. We're going to keep the faith and stay positive about it. All right, guys, that's the latest right now. Overall, fairly quiet weather week. The cool weather is the headline, and we've got to watch the frost potential. Much more today beginning at 5.